Hello, listeners! It is a pleasure to have you all here today, and I hope that you all learn something new here as we talk about an important subject and its many topics. That subject being none other than bullying. Now, to start, some people might roll their eyes thinking that this will talk about the dangers of bullying to children and even adults, and while it will be a topic touched upon, that isn't the focus of this audio video. Rather, the focus here shall be on the main motivations behind bullying, the tactics and methods that bullies use on their victims, and presenting ways that we can combat against this. Now, with all that clarified, we can get into the topic at hand. To start with, there are several reasons as to why so many people become bullies, and how that ties into the type of victims that they choose to torment. So, to explain it all clearly and effectively, I will be talking about the 7 common reasons behind the motivations for bullying that were listed out by a very well mind. For example, one of the main common reasons for why someone becomes a bully in the first place is due to their emotional trauma, which comes from their life experiences and can be caused by several factors. Yet, despite what these experiences might be, the reason for why bullies with emotional trauma seek to intimidate and torment others is because they lack a healthy coping mechanism for their trauma, resulting in them unleashing it outwardly and targeting someone to release it all on so that they can feel better, despite how physically and mentally unhealthy this is for the bully themselves and their victim. Another reason for why people can become bullies is often because they are jealous of their victims and insecure of themselves, with the reason for the jealousy varying greatly, consisting of motivations that range from being jealous of the wealth that their victims has, to their target having a better home life than their own, or something as simple as the bully thinking that their victim is better than them at anything, leading the bully to push around their target so they can feel superior. A third reason for why bullies decide to harm others is because they themselves were once bullying victims, often pushing around their targets because they feel like it can protect others from the experience, either by toughening someone up or striking at a perceived bully before they can strike, not realizing the damage that they are causing until it is likely far too late to turn back. The fourth reason behind a bully's motivations happens to come from learned behavior that a person has learned back when they were a child, likely as a result of seeing adults bully one another or outright witnessing abuse on such a frequent basis that they consider such behavior normal and repeat it in the presence of others, which would be very problematic given how much harm that will do that sadly could be encouraged if not dealt with fast enough, given how in some social communities this can be accepted as the norm. The next reason behind why people often become motivated to become a bully is due to them possessing poor social skills, making it difficult for them to end conflict and get along with others, which will cause these types of bullies to be incapable of managing and responding to social situations in a healthy way, which actually leads back into bullies choosing their targets based on insecurity thanks to them either being jealous of another person thanks to the attention they are getting or growing resentful of it. The sixth common reason for people having the motivation to become bullies often comes from the fact that many methods of bullying, primarily cyberbullying, allow them to be anonymous and thanks to their identities being much more hidden compared to real life, which emboldens bullies to say things over the internet that they are likely to never try in real life and drive their victims into paranoia as they will feel like even in their homes they aren't safe from them thanks to the bullies, feeling more empowered than ever and thus encouraging themselves to unleash their full cruelty through the internet. The final common reason for why people turn into bullies and torment so many victims is because they have a lack of empathy for others. Many of these kinds of people have no problem dominating, blaming, intimidating, or taking advantage of others and will not hold back to torment and take advantage of their victims, as their inability to relate to another person's experiences prevents them from understanding how horrible their behavior truly is. And as quoted by Winston on Very Well Mind, they target weaker people and refuse to acknowledge the repercussions of their behavior. They are driven by a desire for power and attention. No matter what type of bully they are not learned to be kind, compassionate, or respectful. Now then, with us having listed out some of the common reasons for why people become bullies and why they target specific victims, we can get into the ways that you can combat the bullying without anybody getting hurt. To start things off before taking any of the presented options, it is important to learn that this behavior is happening and that is not okay. And while it sounds simple, being able to do something can be difficult at times with how some of the victims might be so used to the bullying that they do not realize it is wrong, or the bullying is hidden well enough thanks to the victim being too scared to speak up. But when you do realize that the bullying is happening, you shouldn't physically fight back, as not only is this likely to get you into trouble, potentially even more than the bully themselves, likely satisfying them and making them even more dangerous, as their sights are now either put on you or they'll have even more fuel to use against you to keep you under their thumb. Now, with that in mind, an immediate solution to combat against bullying is to tell someone with authority in the area, such as a teacher if you were in a school or your boss in a work environment as examples, as they'll be able to take actions you normally can to combat the bullying, and will be capable of advocating for you or the bullying victim. And if you can't get help from these authority figures for one reason or another, you can still tell a friend or a parent/guardian for help. Another way to combat bullying is to hold the bully accountable to their actions, by explaining to the bully that their actions and words are genuinely harmful to you or their victim, where you need to make sure that you are specific about this so that the bully will really know what they have crossed the line with you, and it is also gives the bully a fair chance to change for the better, now that they know what they did wrong with you. The next way that you combat against bullying is to avoid the bully so that you can minimize the risks of crossing paths with them, which will include avoiding places that you know they frequent and potentially changing your route to work and back. And while that may take a bit of time and working on research to do, you are likely to find that it will be worth it in the long run thanks to the distance it will create between you and the bully. And the final way that you combat bullying that I can give you all today is to stay by someone that you fully trust, as they are likely to notice the signs of bullying if you can't and help you look over your options of what you can do before a horrible line is crossed without getting yourself in trouble. So overall, while bullying is a topic talked about quite a bit nowadays, it might not seem too big of a deal. There are many forms that bullying can take in how it's done. There are even more reasons behind why a person becomes a bully and why they target their chosen victims so much. As a result, I hope that today you have all been able to learn about why people become bullies so that you can better prepare yourself and others against them, understand how terrifying bullying is still even to this day, and you found different ways of combating bullying to be both helpful and informative if you ever find yourself in such a situation. Hope you all have a good day and good luck for the future.